Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a spicy episode of the Uninformed Fan. Lots of stuff happening around the world. Jeff, how are we doing today, buddy? I know you woke up a little poundy, but feeling better?
Yeah, maybe one or two too many last night before I got home, and kind of a gloomy day. We've been doing these car bombs with Rumplemans. They taste like a Thin Mint cookie. It's really a problem. But they're absolutely delicious. I got a chance to have Shay try one last night. And it's just a gloomy, overcast day. I'm supposed to go to a celebration of life today, and I don't know if I really want to go. So just one of those things, one of those days. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Anyway, especially after the death in Black Sunday that was yesterday as well, too.
Man,
things could have gone way better, but
We're going to do something a little different here on the Uninformed Fan today. We're actually going to lead off with the college and the college playoffs here. But, man, It was Black Sunday for your boy. Obviously Max Verstappen's odds were pretty low after Kimi Antonelli pretty much let Lando through the last race, which took it from 8 points to 12 points. And, he loses the championship by 2 points on some questionable moves from Lando and Yuki. That started off the day. Then we proceed to get absolutely smoked in fantasy football. I got bounced out of both survivors, and then we cap it off in the afternoon with a little bit of Bears beatdown. But we'll get into all that. But let's first start off with the college football playoffs. We usually don't start with this, but it is too spicy to ignore. The college playoffs are out. It is time for us to talk about them. I wish, for the love of God, I could find an actual picture that I could post up here that would actually bring it. But the college playoffs are set. Starting at the top, Indiana taking down Ohio State, the Big Ten championship. There was really no doubt about that. Indiana number 1, Ohio State number 2, Georgia 3, Texas Tech 4, Oregon 5, Ole Miss 6, and Texas A&M 7th. And this is where it got spicy, right? This is where we're like, great, who's going to get in? Who's going to get out? Number 8 seed, Oklahoma. 9, Alabama. Miami gets in at 10, and then we go to the two teams that just nobody gives them a chance in Tulane and James Madison University. But obviously, we're going to talk about who's in, who's out. Alabama getting in after arguably getting crushed in the SEC championship game. Notre Dame out. Yeah, I just hate that look. Notre Dame out. If you want to do that one, I can bring that one up. And of course, the crying has begun. Notre Dame, coming out with basically all of their crybaby tactics. Now they're not going to play in a game at all, right? They're opting out of any bowl game.
A lot of people opted out of bowl games, though.
A lot of people are actually opted out of bowl games, and for the most part,
bowl season is dead.
I agree with that because let's be honest, we put bowl season. It was too much, man. We basically said that, as long as you get 6 wins, you're in a bowl game. No, I mean
they tried to beg everybody with 5 to go to the Birmingham Bowl, and everybody turned them down. Literally 7 teams turned them down. Florida State being one. The other problem with bowls now too is that, between recruiting, transfer portal, and everything else going on, like, do you really want to? I mean, I think they should run extra practices and get out there and play more, but kids don't want to get hurt. It's more about, the bag that they're going to get as opposed to going out and laying it on the line for a school. It's just kind of where college football is right now. And so what's your motivation to want to go out there? And every time you step on the football field, it could be the end of your career. So people are just trying to protect themselves. And regardless of how we feel about it as fans, I get it from their perspective.
Yeah, I could care less about their perspective. However, I will say this. I think that from a coaching perspective, I'm just trying to figure out a way if I can lower the brightness on this. Holy macaroons. From a coaching perspective, I can do this. From a coaching perspective, of course, they would like to get out there and have their freshmen get a few more reps, things of that nature. Maybe, look at some other players going into it. But I don't mind it. I think it was an absolute shit show. The bowl game, the Cheez-It Bowl, the Tax Slayer Bowl, the
Pop-Tart Bowl, the Pop-Tart getting eaten.
CarMax, Bob's Landscaping, Bad Boy Mowers. Give me a break. Let's get into
Old Barstool Sports had a bowl, so yeah.
That's when it's really.
What did you not agree with the committee? Let's start there.
I honestly, I have no issues. I know that I
have a big issue, but
first of all, let's get to the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Alabama and Notre Dame. I mean, these are the two that we're going to talk about. A lot of people think that Alabama shouldn't have gotten in just simply for the fact of that they did lose in the SEC championship game. I will say this. I don't agree with, I also said, and I know that I did on TJ and Buff's show, Prop Stars, I said you cannot penalize a team for making it to the college championship. for their conference championship, because at the end of the day, the other teams are sitting at home. You didn't have the opportunity, nor did you get the opportunity to play in your championship game because you didn't perform well enough throughout the season. So to take a team that plays in their college playoff and knock them out based on a loss, to me, is asinine. But here we are. So Alabama loses to Georgia. They are not penalized because they beat Georgia at home, is what the committee is saying. BYU loses to Texas Tech, who they got throttled by both times, and they lose a spot. So then now Notre Dame, Miami is side by side, and then they're saying that they go to Notre Dame in the Miami game, and obviously Miami beat Notre Dame, which I also agree with. Sure. But to everyone's point, if it was that way to begin with, why wasn't Miami ahead of Notre Dame to begin with? Why did it take BYU losing in order for that to happen? Now, I will say this. Notre Dame, y'all can just go fly a kite. I could give two shits. You have tried to maintain your independence because of your financial greed for years. And the way that this all works, for those of you who don't know, since Notre Dame is not part of a conference, Notre Dame is the only team in the country that does not have to share any of the proceeds that they get with anybody else in their conference. So they pick and choose who they play. They pick the majority of the ACC conference, but yet they won't join them, even though I think they played 5 games of the ACC. Why is that? Because they have their own network deal that gets them more money, and they have, when they go to the playoffs, they keep it all. They don't have to share with the ACC. So I will say this, kudos to the ACC for promoting Miami and playing that game for 24 hours straight to influence the voters. Notre Dame, I could care less, bro. You had 2 tough games. You lost them both. You're not in a conference. You didn't play for a conference championship. You continue to remain independent. And I think that at the end of the day, y'all suck for it. I'm not saying you're a bad football team, but again, and we're going to get into this later, the 2026 rules have been catered to Notre Dame to not be in a conference. And if this was the 2026 rules, Notre Dame would still be in regardless. So I think the big one here, and I know that you want to get to, is the Alabama, a 3-loss Alabama team. I mean, there's arguments to be made about Texas. If Texas only had 2 losses, but they, everyone points to the Ohio State game as far as Texas, be like, well, if they didn't have that Ohio State, well, now if they wouldn't have lost to Florida, they would have been in. So I don't, you can say whatever you want to say about the Ohio State game and scheduling really tough out of conference opponents. But if you would have beat Florida, you wouldn't even be in this position. So started off with whatever, which I'm assuming you want to go in Alabama first because of the SEC bias. So let's get into that one.
No. Well, I think that, like, Alabama having 3 losses to me, and one of the worst losses of people getting in the college football playoff, because they did lose to Florida State, who was terrible, and they got dominated by Florida State as well too. But we just forget about that because it's like week 1. But for the committee to sit there and say that they basically only counted Alabama's 12 games, because that was some of the only other statistical things that they had to compare to other teams. They couldn't compare 13 to 12. Well, where was that energy for BYU? Why all of a sudden, because BYU lost their conference championship, did they get bounced out? When their only 2 losses were to a really good Texas Tech team that we see as a top 4 team and having a home playoff game. That to me doesn't make sense at all. I thought Notre Dame was playing some of the best football in the country. They have been for the past 10 weeks. They lost 2 very close games, both to very formidable opponents. I mean, talk about the opponents they lost to. Texas Tech just lost their first, or Texas A&M just lost their first game, a couple weeks ago, and they're in the college football playoff. They also lost to Miami, who has, yes, their 2 losses are not good. SMU and Louisville, I think those are both bad losses. They're ACC losses, respectfully, ACC losses. And also, let's be honest too, if Duke is winning your ACC championship, does that now not discount the teams that you just lost to in the ACC as well too? Shouldn't that bring you down a notch as well? How does that elevate you over a team that's already ahead of you? None of it made sense to me. I think the committee just makes shit up as they go along. And it's all, I call it the college football propaganda bowl, because that's all it is. It's just whatever propaganda that they can put out for the SEC or whoever's going to make the most money, they throw in there. I'm shocked they didn't put Notre Dame in. I agree they need to change the system. I don't think both Tulane and JMU should be playing in the college football playoff. I think you can give one of them an opportunity to go play. and you keep it moving, and then Notre Dame would have been in anyway. But I don't see how Alabama playing one good half of football against Georgia has propped up this entire resume. Makes no sense to me.
Well, I mean, arguably that is the only loss that Georgia had. If they didn't, they would probably be ranked the number one team in the company. And Jeffrey, they're not graded on halves; they're graded on that win-loss column. And at the end of the day, let's just say this: if they didn't play in the SEC championship and finish with 2 losses, would they be in?
Can we say that Texas with 3 losses might have a better resume than Alabama?
Yes.
Okay.
But again, if
then why the fuck is Alabama in?
If Alabama had 2 losses, would they be in? Yes, they would.
Okay.
Okay, so with that being said, you can't penalize them for getting to the conference championship. And I agree with what you said about
if
BYU as well.
had 1 loss, would they be in?
Yeah, because they were sitting there at 11. I agree. I am saying if you're going to do it one way, you have to do it the same way. And the commission's response is, well, yes, Alabama lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game by a lot, but also beat them on their home field early in the season kind of negates that. But BYU losing to the same team twice by over 21 points just bumps them completely out. I don't agree with that at all. But then again, I also don't agree that BYU is the 11th ranked team in the nation as well to begin with. I think that to your point, I think Vanderbilt's a better team than them. I think Texas is a better team than them. And if I went down the list, I'm sure I could find a few other ones. Because if you look at the Texas Tech, who they throttled, who did Texas Tech lose to?
I think when Texas Tech, they lost to Arizona State, I believe.
Okay. Go ahead with what your point is. I'm just bringing this up right here.
When I talk about SEC bias, right, what I'm saying is that what we do is we put these teams on a pedestal to start the year. They start, a leg up against the rest of the competition because they're ranked higher. And then those wins or losses, all of a sudden now quality wins or quality losses based off of whatever you're projecting at.
I think that at the end of the day, though, by the end of it, it goes by the final rankings as far as quality wins and quality losses. So with that being said, if to your point, if Alabama beat Florida State the first week, which they did not, and Florida State was ranked 10th in the nation, it would be considered a quality win. But at the end of the year, when they have fallen out of the top 25 rankings, it's not considered a quality win when the committee goes back to it. Is the way that I understand it. So to your point, I also agree. I don't know what the answer is. What is the answer? Who determines the strength of a schedule? Who determines, good wins and losses? How do we get to the point where it's a neutral vision to where we say, hey, you know what? Notre Dame losing to Texas A&M, quality loss. Although their strength of schedule is 42nd in the nation, they deserve to be over somebody that played the 10th toughest schedule in the nation. How is the 42 determined versus how is the 10? And I think to your point, there just needs to be some kind of a consistency. And I think that's what we're just missing, right? I mean, it goes year by year. To your point, the stupid rule that they have in there in regards to if a certain key player is out or a coach is out, they can also remove you. That just negates your entire body of work. And I'm actually giving you a little credit there with the Florida State shout out, right? You deserve to be in the playoffs at that time. But there's a little clause in there that puts the human element into it. So we need to get to a place where everything is, categorized out. Maybe there's 5 categories. Quality wins versus top 25 at the end of the year. Those rankings will change as the year goes on, correct? Because, some people are going to fall out and some people are going to go up. Like if you lost to a Louisville team that was unranked at the beginning of the year, and now they're a top 10 team when the year is finished, that would be considered a quality loss. So whether it's quality losses, strength of schedule, there's got to, and then head to head. There's got to be something, right? There's got to be a way that we can do a formula without the eyeball test. Because to your point, yes, Notre Dame lost the first 2 games of the year and they looked absolutely great the rest of the way. That's an eyeball test, right? They weren't going up playing in Indiana or an Ohio State or a Texas A&M after that. They can only play who they have. But if we're talking about eyeball tests, and then Alabama, who didn't look good their last 4 games, but they still have that strength of schedule. They still have the opponents. They still have the quality wins. They have some not quality losses. I don't know. To me, to your point, I don't think unless you get to a definitive straight point system, there's ever not going to be a human element to this.
Yeah, I mean,
who wants who in?
I don't know.
At the end of the day, screw Notre Dame.
I told TJ and DCast this because they've been going back and forth. DCast Notre Dame fan, TJ obviously a Miami fan. They're going back and forth in my group chat for the past 2 weeks, and I go, "Fuck both of you for making me care about this shit again," which I had given up 2 years ago and written off that I would never let it dictate any part of my life anymore. And here we are, spending the first 21 minutes of our show fucking talking about who deserved to get in and who didn't.
I will say this. Let me ask you this question, Jeff. Notre Dame, the 80s and 90s, up until 2000, were they a national powerhouse? And when I say national powerhouse, I mean getting the views, everyone tuning into the Notre Dame game on Saturdays. Did they command the eyeballs during those times? Maybe even the early 2000s?
Yes.
Do you think that they still have the same pull on Saturdays with their television programming with the people that they play? Do you think that they're still getting the same amount of views, the same amount of pull, the same amount of rah across the nation?
The SEC is different. You know, it's funny.
Let me finish. So we can both agree no, that they're not. Right, but they stay that way because they want to keep that revenue slice. They're giving it up in everything else but football.
Why would you want to give it up? Why would you want to give it up?
Well, first of all, my question is, why does anybody allow it? If I'm the ACC, I'm saying, well, if you're not good enough for us to play in football,
why do we all have to all of the money is? Why do you love socialism?
Because Mondami's the mayor in New York, and that's just the way I'm going. I'm saying you can't tell me that if Notre Dame moved to an SEC or Big Ten conference, that their revenue share from that would still be comparable to what they're bringing in. Think of the eyeballs if you had Notre Dame, Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State every year.
Well, I think Notre Dame, they'll end up being in the Big Ten in the next 2 years.
That's my whole point. Notre Dame, you are literally an outlier of college football. You want the rules to bend to your will so you can make more money. This is the first time that the college playoffs have said, you know what? No.
It's the Catholic Church, brother. It's a for-profit organization. Okay.
It's probably why they let kids under 18. I'm not gonna
just stop.
I think that they're too big for their britches, and I'm glad that they finally got cock blocked. And I will say this: 2026, Jeffrey, the rules are completely different again. I also agree with you that I don't think Tulane and James Madison should even be in there. I don't even agree with them one spot. To me, if you want to allow cupcakes or basically first round buys going in there, and of course, this isn't the NCAA men's basketball tournament. This isn't a sweet, a Cinderella story. And even at the end of the day, ones versus 64 are like what 1 in 50,000 that they've actually come back and won. There is no Cinderella story here. Nobody wants to see it. Just if you must put them in there, then do 15 and then do like a 17 or do around the playoff games, to get in, just like the NCAA tournament does. You have the couple games before and
I don't mind that.
Let them go at it. But again, you can't tell me that James Madison imposes a greater thrill to college football than Texas.
It is ironic that you guys have 2 coaches in the college football playoff.
Hey, at least we're in there, bro. We're in there.
Represented.
I saw a report again yesterday saying that Norvell is not guaranteed to be staying anymore. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you this.
They ain't got the money, brother. And we got to buy ourselves out of the ACC. TJ, you guys want to come with us? Congrats to Miami making the college football playoff, by the way. It's what we've been talking about. But we're just going to take we'll take some people with us. We'll take Clemson. We'll take Miami, I guess. We'll take little brother. We'll let you guys
again. Let's just go to a four conference system.
Why don't we just
Southeast,
get conferences?
Southeast, because you got to have people to play. Southeast, Northeast, Midwest, West. 4 conferences. Let's get it on. Everybody gets 3 teams per conference. That's
the Southeast is where the best football is. Not even close.
I don't know, man. The Big Ten. The Big Ten's making moves, dude. I'll tell you.
Yeah, they all come from down here, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're going to Ohio State instead of Florida State and Florida.
Well, yeah, it's just like Shane Gillis said to Nick Saban on College Game Day. You know, once you started letting everybody get paid, you know, and not just having the SEC being able to pay players, all of a sudden it's going to level the playing field. Kind of the way it goes. Free and fair open market.
So that's why I'm saying it's not necessarily SEC domination anymore. But I will tell you this. I mean, the Big Ten is very top heavy. I mean, but I guess you could say the same about the SEC a little bit. But I mean,
I think the SEC is super mediocre. Everybody is kind of in that mediocre bubble, and they've just benefited from all kind of playing each other this year. I don't know.
Well, the mediocre SEC is still hens above most other conferences, even the bottom barrels.
Well, that's not even. I'm not saying that the SEC is not the most respected, dominant football conference in the entire college football spectrum. It is. I just think
I beg to differ a little bit.
That because everybody can get paid, it has thinned the talent out now, and we still look at the SEC through the prism that we did before NIL, and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the SEC is just wild, man. SEC is wild. I mean, you got South Carolina, Auburn, Florida on the bottom. I knew Vanderbilt up there.
When the committee said that Alabama had a good quality win against Auburn to finish the year, I was like, "Oh, we're fucking cooked, homie." Auburn.
Well, I mean, but that's yeah, it's not necessarily a quality win, but at the same token, it's just always just like the Florida State game. Regardless of the records, it's always a battle. It's always a battle.
So Texas's worst loss was Florida, right? And Florida, obviously beat the shit out of Florida State. Alabama's worst loss is Florida State. Okay? And Texas went and played Ohio State out of conference week 1 in the shoe, right? Like, what are we talking about here? And their other loss is what? Is what, Georgia?
But they also beat number 5 Georgia, number 16 Vanderbilt, number 14 Missouri, number 11 Tennessee, they lost to Oklahoma. Yeah.
I just feel like that middle, right? Like that Missouri, Tennessee, Vanderbilt is the exact same thing as in the Big 12 you have over there, Utah, Arizona.
There's no way you're comparing Utah and Arizona. Are you serious? You're comparing Arizona to playing at home against Tennessee?
I don't think Tennessee's a very good football team.
And this is why college will never work, because it's all subjective. Whatever. We spent enough time on it. Let's get on to NFL sad stories. Like I already prefaced, it was a bad day. Knocked out of Survivor, knocked out of fantasy. It is what it is. And then my Bears let me down 21-28. Bears go down to the Packers. Matt LaFleur takes down Ben Johnson. And I'll say this from the beginning. Ben Johnson was out-coached the entire game, in my opinion. It was 2 different halves. The first half, you allowed Caleb to throw it 9 times. The play calling was very suspect. There's just no stretching the field. There's no down. DJ Moore, he just doesn't look into it to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Bears secondary gets cooked in the second half. And then we end the game on the same play that Ben has called numerous times against Philadelphia. He ran it twice also during the game. Cole Kmet was open. You got to get the ball out quicker. But not only that, my thing is this. Okay, you committed to the run in the second half. It was 3rd and a half a yard. Run the ball twice. You don't need a touchdown there. You just need the yard. You had 2 timeouts left. There was no issue. We never QB sneaked it once. Like, you need a half a yard. The way that why do we need to get cute? I said this to Bianca when we were watching it. I go, I can feel the cuteness coming through the TV. He is going to overthink this. Just literally, Caleb Williams, QB sneak. Just go a half a yard. You have 2 plays to get a half a yard. And you say, you know what? We've been running the ball down their throat. Nah. And I tell you what, if I keep seeing the ball run up the middle, just back and back and back, I'm going to lose my shit, man. Like, every time they went to the sides, they were breaking off plays. And then they're like, nah, let's just run it right up the middle again, see what happens here. Let's just run it right at Micah Parsons and the other fat boys on the line. I will tell you this, coming back from this, it is a devastating loss to the Packers. I'm sorry, against the Packers. The Bears, we went from first in the division, first in the NFC to 7th. Wild
Tough
take
out here.
It's really bad, and it's really bad. This is why this game was so important, because we do have Green Bay again, and I do believe 11 days, and then we also have Detroit. We also have San Francisco. I can easily see this Bears team's missing the playoffs just because the NFC is that tight and that good. If they were in the AFC, they'd be in the playoffs. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to come out and do it. I will say this. I told my mother when we started the game, I said, just keep it, within a score. Let's make it a competitive game throughout the entire game. They did do that. They showed up. I think that they got some stuff on film that they'll be able to take back to Saturday. At the end of the day, though, I really just thought Ben Johnson did not have a good game plan to start the game. Second half game plan, whatever they changed with the offensive line, was much better. They allowed Caleb to start throwing the ball. I think he ended up with 38 attempts.
35.
35, and I do believe he finished with like 11 in the first half. So again, we keep talking about this, or at least I do. It's like fourth quarter Caleb, when you start taking the game plan off of it and start letting him develop and do shit on his own, things start flowing a lot better. I don't know if it's just a cap that they put on him or Ben Johnson trying to manage the game, whatever it is. I know he has some serious inaccuracies. His completion percentage is garbage. We do not throw it down the field at all, it seems. He does have some Superman plays. He had the great throw. I do believe it was to I want to say Zacchaeus.
In the end zone. Oh my God, bro. What a
should have been intercepted. I mean, it literally went through the DB's hands into him. What a catch, what a throw. But it should have been intercepted. But again, it's in Lambeau. It is what it is. It's okay. We come back. We don't need to get all. But I will say, our schedule the rest of the way out, it's going to be tough, man. I could easily see this Bears team not making the playoffs, and that's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. I can't hang my head down here. Green Bay's a great team. Is it annoying that we continue to lose to Green Bay? I think Matt LaFleur is now 12-1 versus the Bears in his time. And I think this is Johnson now is 1-3. I think it's 1-3. So yeah, we got some work to do. Just wasn't really happy with the game plan, honestly, especially the first half. Man, the offense looked like dog shit. Just had a couple blown plays, man. You continue to run man coverage, you continue to get cooked, and you just continue to call it. I didn't understand that at all. Like, bro, Christian Watson across this, just wide open, boop, gone. Like, dude, change your game plan, Dennis Allen. You're getting cooked.
Yeah. I thought Jordan Love was pretty special this week in this game specifically. The game plan I kind of understand from Ben. Caleb looked really jacked up to start the game. All of his throws, he was missing high. I think he was just in the moment and just like so jacked up. Regardless of what you want to say about Caleb, he is a good leader of men wherever he likes to lead them. That's up to him. I think that I think better days are ahead for this Bears team. I thought C.J. Gardner-Johnson played like he was the best player on the field yesterday. He understood the moment. He rose to the occasion. Incredible plays. He played great on defense.
Getting cooked by Christian Watson.
He gets the pick on Jordan Love, though, as well, too. Christian Watson was cooking pretty much everybody. And then
CJ was on him most of the day, but yeah.
CJ's also not really a corner. He's like a nickel safety, but neither here nor there.
Next man up, bro. Too many injuries.
I think the Bears will be fine. Honestly, I think if anything, you only gave up 28 points to the Packers. It's not like they crushed you. Obviously, Jordan Love hits the big plays, those 2 long bombs,
It's
one
2
to Bo
broken plays.
Melton, one to Christian Watson. And listen, regardless of what you want to say, Caleb if that throw is a half second earlier, it's a touchdown to Cole Kmet in the end zone. If he pulls it down and just keeps moving, he probably picks up the first down. If he sees DJ Moore streaking across the inside, it's a touchdown.
Right
all those things are right there. I will say this for the DJ Moore thing, Ben being as creative as he is, to have such a weapon like that to just absolutely not use is kind of weird and
wild.
Even when like you're giving Luther Burden the jet sweep end arounds, why? Like that's what DJ does. You play DJ at running back at certain points. Why are we giving those to Luther Burden now, especially when Luther Burden's getting all the targets? I can't explain it. I have no clue. But
I was also concerned about how much the impact of no Rome would be. And it turns out a lot. We saw it a little bit with Keenan Allen last year, and Keenan Allen being Caleb's favorite target. And when Keenan Allen was out a couple games, they struggled. I feel like he has his favorite target, and that's who he pushes down the field. Also Colston Loveland was definitely more involved, which I figured that as well with Rome being out. But yeah, to not utilize DJ Moore to me is mind boggling. I just don't know. I see a lot. I don't know, man. I probably just read way too much into it, but I watch his body language on the field. I don't know. To me, the entire first half of the Bears, they didn't seem ready. They didn't seem into it. I was talking to Cousin Clay about it, like the linemen. I watched the lineman a couple of times when DeAndre Swift was running and he hit the first one. I saw 2 linemen, 58 right was one of them, just standing there watching him. And then later we saw Mundungai that goes through and hits that first hole. And then I know Tooney was in there and the center was there. They saw it and they immediately pushed him forward, got the touchdown. And I'm like, they're that. And then then the next play, I see the right on the other side again, making a good play. And then the next play, he's just standing there. So it's like, these are the things, especially when you're over analytical like I am, and especially when it comes to everything with gambling, that I'm like, these guys are out here making business decisions. Like they are just, I didn't see it. I didn't see the fire out of the Chicago Bears, especially in the first half. And yeah, while we did have success in the second half, I didn't see the fire out of this team. I don't know, man. Like I watched them versus the Eagles. They were ready to play that game, man. They were going to the whistle every single play. And this one, I don't know, man. It felt like this was just a business decision. Like the game script was Green Bay by 7. Go out there and do whatever. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Let's get on to some more sad news, Jeffrey. The New Orleans Saints, the hated New Orleans Saints, go into Tampa Bay and beat the Bucs in a sloppy rain-filled game. Jeff, are we hitting the panic button in Tampa yet?
It was all bad, man. It was like, you're right. It was a sloppy game. We played with our food. We allowed Tyler Slow to get outside the pocket and run all over us, which I still don't understand how. Because the guy runs not a 4.4. I'll tell you that. He looks like prime fucking Vic out there running in for touchdowns. We couldn't get off the field on third down. It's been like that since the playoffs last year against Jaden Daniels. Regardless of what you want to say, your defense should be standing on business here. And they didn't. And this has become a common theme for the Bucs now. The biggest problem for the Bucs, and this is also another thing that I think analytics sometimes takes over too much. The Bucs were terrible on third down. They were, I got to look up this real quick. So last year they were 50.9%, right? They're
in what?
30 and third down success rate. They're 36.5% this year. That's a huge drop off. They were 5 for 13 on third down this week, and they went 2 for 7 on fourth down. That to me is where the game was lost. Was you have 5 different fourth downs that are 4th and 1, 4th and 2 that you don't convert, and you're now giving the Saints a short field to come the other way. And it's just it's like I said, playing with your food. Like, you're not giving your defense the best chance to be able to stand up and make a play. You're putting them on the 50 every single time, as opposed to maybe 1 or 2 of those times you do pin them deep and make a rookie quarterback throw out of his own end zone and see if you can create something. I thought it was a terribly coached, terribly called game. I thought nobody had any juice whatsoever. We went a whole quarter without rushing Bucky Irving. God only knows why. They just put Sean Tucker and Rashad White in for some reason. Then Bucky comes back in the fourth quarter, busts a 40-yarder. Okay, here we go. It's really bad. And, you got to turn around on a short week now. We'll see. You might get Mike Evans. You might get Jalen McMillan back. I would think that they would wait one more week. But hopefully you at least get Tristan Wirfs back. And then you also, I think, lost Ben Bredeson as well, too, on the front. And listen, the Saints, one thing about the Saints is they do have a decent front seven. And they are going to play hard. They've played their dick off the entire year, even though they've been terrible. They've still gone out and they've tried to perform. And, they came in and they kicked our ass.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't good.
Sorry that you had him in Survivor.
Yeah, that's okay. It is what it is. I will say this, though, Jeff. I mean, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I said the Arizona game carried a little bit more weight than I thought that you thought. Now you are tied with the Carolina Panthers. You have the Falcons next week, and then you have the Panthers twice. Those 2 Panther games obviously just huge.
Yeah, because you had a chance to just win this game and then beat the lowly Falcons, which I don't discount the fact that the Falcons will come in and win on Thursday night. Chad, what's up, bro? How you been, man? I see Chad says they're down to 4.5 at home on a short week.
No shot.
Bijan Robinson might run for 200 yards, bro.
Drake London's coming back. I will say this, to your point from last year versus this year on the completions percentages, I will go back and say no Mike Evans. Chris Godwin is a shell of himself. Jalen McMillan saw the rust. You're basically running this offense through Abuka on the passing game.
Yeah, and I don't know what his drop rate is right now. I was actually trying to look that up last night. He's had some terrible drops. In big plays. And we saw another one yesterday. Wide open in the end zone, hits him right in the hands, drop. Now, I think
a lot of drops in the NFL across the board.
When Mike gets back, and you saw a lot of the guys out there too, they take the gloves off because with the rain, it just makes it, almost impossible to grip. So I didn't mind. I don't know. This season has been an enigma. I don't know if it's Bowles who has to go or what it is. You have too much talent. You've drafted too well. You've hit on too many players for you to be at this point. And I got to look right at the coaching staff. Baker doesn't look the same.
You need him out on the field, though, bro. Like, I mean, yeah, when you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Abuka, McMillan, Otten, Bucky, Tucker, White, when you have them all there and healthy, I'll take them pretty much against anybody. But you have not had any of them for pretty much the entire year. Like I said, McMillan looked like he just came back. Like this is his first game of the year, which it is. Abuka, to your point,
McMillan didn't play.
What? I thought he did.
Jalen McMillan? No.
Oh, well, then he wasn't even back then. Well, who the hell was dropping all the passes? Oh, it must have been the guy that I dropped and Mark picked up. What was that guy's name?
Tez Johnson.
Was that him? 15,
yeah.
Right?
I had this game on a separate TV because I never thought we were going to lose. So I was actually watching the Colts Jags. Also, for like the 5th week, this year, the Bucks game is not locally televised. So,
bro, that is wild. Yeah, I don't know.
We have whatever the national game is, and then Jacksonville. And I don't understand how it used to always be Fox had the NFC and CBS had the AFC. When did we just flip everything? When did that all happen? Do you know what I'm talking about?
As not a Florida native, I couldn't tell you. I've been down here for 15 years, though, and very rarely do I ever watch because I've always had the package. So Can't hide money. Let's keep it in Florida. Then you did mention the Jacksonville and Colts game. This was Chad. Browns knocked me out of my Survivor this weekend. The Bucks got knocked out of both of them. Pretty bad. But the bets did go 3-2. Thank you, Pete Carroll, which we'll talk about that one. The forecast in Jacksonville was absolutely just terrible, right? It was supposed to just torrential downpour all day. Of course, I'm playing for my fantasy life. I have Tyler Warren. I have Josh Downs. I have Alec Pierce. And of course, I also have Jacoby Myers all playing in this game. And I'm like, I'm going through, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's just, so whatever. I made the decision to sit Alec Pierce over and started Colston Loveland instead. Just simply for the fact of whatever. As we mentioned before, no Rome. Colston Loveland gets some more targets. Ended up working out only because Daniel Jones goes down with an ACL tear. Watching this game, of course, I watched every bit of it. It was like, a few showers off and on. The passing game was still alive. Thank goodness Jacoby Myers gets that touchdown early. But I will say this. I know that you're going to talk a little bit about the Colts and some of the calls that they get, but I'm going to give these Jacksonville Jaguars some respect because I'll say this. They were looking really good against the Colts before Daniel Jones went down. And I don't know what's happening in Jacksonville. I don't know what the muddy water up there they're drinking. But, we've talked about this Jacksonville team multiple times about which team is going to show up. Well, they've showed up now for a few weeks in a row. And that Jacoby Myers trade is looking really good for Trevor Lawrence. Brian Thomas Jr. is actually catching the ball again. Maybe he's got some confidence with Jacoby. Brendan Strange is coming back. He is also a great target for Trevor Lawrence. I saw that you had him on your bench or you had him on your team because I was looking for a streaming option possibly for a short yardage. You already had him. Shout out to you. Wonder where you got that information from. I think it's time, Jeff. I think it's time. It's time to get back out on your team, Jeff.
I'm
time
not.
for you to get back.
Not,
yeah,
I'm done.
No.
Here's the thing: is that I would be on this bandwagon if it wasn't for the snake that they have at head coach. And because of that, I'm out. Now, let me just say this about the Jacksonville game, and I got a chance to watch this entire game. Riley Leonard is not that bad. Number one. Number two, the Colts are fucking done. This Sauce Gardner trade was the kiss of death for them. I don't know. We said when it happened, it was ridiculous. It's still ridiculous. I don't know why they did it. Whatever. And thirdly, I didn't realize that the NFL didn't want the Colts to be a part of the playoffs this year. And I don't know what happened 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it's because the owner is down on the field. I don't know what it is, but the past 2 weeks
they started playing good teams, Jeff. That was step one.
The past 2 weeks, that's not even true, bro. They beat the Broncos. I mean, they played decent teams, Tyson.
You finish your argument. I'm going to bring up their schedule. Doing it.
The calls that they have received against them, that have gone, the onslaught against them the past 2 weeks has been egregious. We documented what happened in Houston last week, and then again this week too. Just ridiculous OPI calls on touchdowns that are absolutely terrible. They make a call. Brian Thomas Jr. catches a ball when it's still a 2-score game. The Colts aren't out of it. But catches a ball. He's clearly bobbling when it goes out of bounds. They challenge it. They say that that was securing the ball, so it wasn't actually a bob. I don't know. Gene Steratore is on the mic like, this is the wrong call. How can they blatantly miss this so badly, especially when they review it? This makes no sense. And I'm like, thank you, fucking Gene. It was like any and all. Like, first of all, he throws multiple touchdowns, right? Like Alec Pierce got one that got called back. Michael Pittman gets one that gets called back. Every single time it was some phantom penalty that nobody could see that ended up coming back to bite him. Just completely snake bitten, it seemed like. So very unfortunate. Obviously, the Colts are done. It looks like the Colts season will be over. And I think even if you look at their next, 4 games are all tough. I think they have, obviously, the Jags again, the Texans again. I think they have the Seahawks and the 49ers, correct?
Well, I'm glad you brought up their schedule, Jeffrey, because you said that they played some teams here. So let's go their record so far. They played Miami, Denver. I'll give you that's a quality win. Tennessee, Rams, loss. Vegas, Arizona, Chargers, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Atlanta. So again, out of that, they were 8-2. That's when we had it going, right? Then they started playing the Chiefs, the Texans, and now the Jags, and they've lost all three. To your point, it doesn't get any better. Seattle, San Francisco, Jacksonville, and Houston again. If you can find where the Colts do not make the playoffs, yeah. But I'm telling you this, I need Anthony Richardson. I need Anthony Richardson to come back and lead the team to glory.
Fuck no. Riley Leonard's fine. He'll be fine. He's serviceable. Buff, I think Jonathan Taylor's going to be fine going forward. Obviously, he hasn't had the few weeks like he did before, but let's be real. Like, people are like, oh, well, this Danny Dimes injury, whatever. Danny Dimes hasn't been running the ball the past 3 weeks anyway.
He already had a broken leg.
Exactly. So at least like Riley Leonard can move the pocket a little bit. I thought he looked pretty comfortable yesterday. Also, let's keep in mind too, Jacksonville, I think they're the number one rush defense in the NFL right now. I know they're really tough against the run. Same with I think the Texans as well as the Patriots, I think are up there as well too. So I think Jonathan Taylor will be fine.
I don't think so. I mean, because again, you brought up the schedule, right? You brought Seattle. Mm-hmm. And if you're rolling out a rookie quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to let the run game beat you. You're going to make the rookie quarterback beat you. And Seattle has that. San Francisco has that. We just saw Jacksonville already play them and stuff them. And then you have Houston. I think he's screwed the rest of the year, to be perfectly honest with you. It's kind of like what we saw with Lamar. We'll talk about this again in a minute with Derrick Henry. You know, if there's no threat of Lamar Jackson running, Derrick Henry's a sitting duck 60% of the time. And we saw that. I think you're going to see the same thing here. Again, to your point, though, not that Daniel Jones was running at a frequently pace, but now you don't have to really worry. You're going to make a rookie quarterback beat you. And so back to the point about Anthony Richardson. He's been eligible to return since week 12. So, and according to this article, however, he's still not cleared to return to football, and it just remains unclear. So to me, that's like, we're just planning on sitting him anyway. I for the whole year. So I don't know what's happening there, but I will say,
I think it's pretty obvious what's happening there.
Jeff, what would you like to say, Jeff? That Anthony Richardson is not an NFL quarterback. That he does not pose a better opportunity to win than the rookie out of Notre Dame. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. Well, thank you for your input, Jeff. It is so well noted. But again, he's been eligible to come out since week 12. So that's
correct. So does Blake Corum too. Blake Corum went off. Stafford doesn't run.
You're right. You're right. Let's compare Matt Stafford with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams on the wings to a rookie Notre Dame quarterback with Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. Absolutely correct.
Don't forget about Josh Downs in there as well too, and you have Tyler Warren.
Correct. Who he didn't throw the ball to the entire fucking game, by the way. Yeah.
They're getting bracketed. What are you gonna do?
Actually, right, Chad, he is an NFL player because he's on an NFL roster. So there you have it. Titans Browns, just real quick on this one. Obviously, it cost me Survivor. Titans 31, Browns 29. All I keep hearing about is Shedeur this. The bottom line, he still lost the game. And while I did see some great plays out of Shedeur Sanders, I also saw some really shit plays. I do not put this loss on Shedeur Sanders. However, I'm looking right at you, Cleveland Browns defense. Who the fuck are you? You gave up 31 points to Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. You know what this is, Jeffrey? This is an uncoachable letdown game. I put this 100% on the head coach, the defensive coordinator. It was one of those games that we saw. It's going to be a cakewalk. Hell, maybe they let him score to try to get Shedeur Sanders a loss. Who the hell knows what conspiracy theories are happening in Cleveland at this point? But there's no shot in any shape, form that the Cleveland Browns should be giving up 31 points to the Tennessee Titans at home. I want the whole damn thing investigated. We're talking about some of these other plays, the college kid stepping out of bounds when he's down 15 in a wide open end zone. We're talking about Pete Carroll. I want this team investigated. Either that or get him out of the damn league. That's ridiculous, man. You cannot tell me that shit was allowed to happen. Watching Tony Pollard bust off a 55-yard run. Get out of here against 65. The best run defense. Get out of here.
65.
Get the whole hell out of here with you in the Cleveland Browns defense. Myles Garrett, I don't care if you do get the sack record. Because guess what? You're still on a shit team, and you will never be remembered anything other than being a shit Cleveland's Brown player. How about that? Cleveland.
I thought Shedeur was great in this game. Obviously throws for 364 yards, leads the team in rushing as well too. Albeit 29 yards and a touchdown. What did you just say?
Chad said he didn't have any sacks. He had sacks.
Who? Did they say Myles Garrett didn't have any sacks?
Yeah, he had one.
Did he?
Yeah.
Cam Ward, very pedestrian, 50% completion percentage, 14 to 28, 117 yards, averages 4 yards per throw. You get the Tony Pollard big run here, and that's kind of it. I do want to point on this as well too, and I know I was just talking about how analytics sometimes jumps the shark, right? When it says, listen, we're fourth and less than this, let's go it. But there are other things that are considered in the game that should be also part of the parameters, right? Like this is a defensive struggle. Maybe I do punt the ball on 4th and 2 to pin them deep and make a rookie quarterback come down the field if you're the Bucs playing the Saints. All I'm saying. This is another issue that I have as well. I understand the argument where you're down 14 and you go for 2 to start because you think that, you know, if you get the first one, then you can score and go ahead and win the game on an extra point to finish. What I don't understand is there's times like this where you're forced to go for 2 twice if you don't get it the first time. And instead of just maybe if you're worried about wind or whatever it is, I can understand that and it might be mitigated. But to go out there and then force yourself, you could have kicked the extra point, been down 7, got the ball back. You knew the Titans weren't moving the ball, especially in that situation. For you to go to
the Titans weren't going to move the ball?
No, I didn't think they were, not in that situation watching that game live. You thought the Titans were going to get first downs and milk that clock away?
I didn't think they were going to get first downs throughout the whole fucking game. And yet here I am looking at Tony Pollard, 161 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. I mean, at that point, Jeffrey, I mean, they had what? 31 points? I mean, they've been moving the ball.
They did have 31 points.
All game.
There's more to it than that, but whatever. You can't say they've been moving the ball the whole game when they're averaging fucking 4 yards a carry besides the one Tony Pollard big run, and Cam Ward is averaging 4 yards per attempt for passes. I don't want to hear that shit. Ridiculous.
4 times 3 equals 12 equals a first down.
Sure. Absolutely. My thing is that I would have just gone for the regular extra point there, and then you make the decision based off of that whether to go for 2 or not. But the way the game was playing out, Cleveland had all the momentum. Shedeur brought him back, got 2 touchdowns, crowd's going crazy, and all of a sudden now you got to go for these wild trick play 2-point conversions. Just
what are we doing, man? What are we doing? Like again,
and I know. Listen, it's like
Shedeur
a Philly special.
Legs. Yeah, Shedeur had legs, right? He's been playing great.
Yeah.
Like, why take the ball out of his hands? Same thing with the Bears. You got to put Monangai back. I don't give a shit which back. They were both produced. What are we doing, man? You're just getting in your own damn way, bro. It's just
And it's like, listen, analytics tells you that you do this, and I understand that if analytics is going to work, you have to follow analytics 100% of the time for it to be an accurate reading. You can't really vary and have variance because you feel some type of way, but it's an emotional game, and you should be able to, as the head coach, you need to be able to have the pulse of what's going on in that game. That's why we fucking pay you, not to be an AI robot.
It's just weird, man. I feel like sometimes I could be a better coach than half of these people, and I shouldn't feel that way, Jeff. I shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah,
I just shouldn't. Anyway,
moving on.
Let's move it on. The Dolphins going to the Jets, take care of business. Not much to talk about this game, 34-10. But I will say this: the Dolphins are now only sitting 2 games back of making it to the playoffs, and that's wild when you go to think about it. I think what have they ripped off? 6 in a row, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Just absolutely wild. Actually, no, they've only won 4 in a row. 4 in a row. But basically ever since they fired their general manager. So maybe Mike McDaniels has found a good amount of that Venezuelan go-go juice that's making its way down there to Miami, and it has got things dialed back in. So congratulations to the Dolphins.
Yeah, really interesting.
Literally ruining your pick.
Tyrod Taylor gets hurt here. Brady Cook comes in, obviously, which equates directly to backups being checked down machines. So tight end Mason Taylor goes off. But the really big thing here is Devon Achane. 7 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. He goes down with a rib injury. I've had Ollie Gordon as my handcuff all year to have to Devon Achane, and Jalen Wright got 24 carries in this game. So fuck me. I'm
gonna pick him up on the waiver wire.
Yeah, please don't make moves if you're not in fantasy football contention anymore. Please.
I'm in contention. Apparently, we play through the end because my draft stock depends on my toilet bowl fantasy playoff performance.
Your what?
Well, it's not just our draft picks now go on where exactly we finish.
It doesn't mean that you make waiver wires.
I don't know, man. If I gotta put my pick down for it, I don't know. I don't know, Jeffrey.
Moving on. Also looks like might get Garrett Wilson back this week as well too. So
it was a joke, Buff. Calm down. You don't have to worry about me this year, dude.
Of course, they do have the Jaguars in Jacksonville coming up. So
Bengals Bills in the Snow Bowl. Wow. Josh Allen is just crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy. You know, it's even more crazier for me, Jeffrey, that a defense does not realize that Josh Allen likes to run the ball. And we don't put anybody on Josh Allen. We just go all out coverages and say, hey, Josh, the whole field's open, buddy. If you choose to get past the first line of defense, go ahead, big boy. Get your legs on.
Is this because you were going against Josh Allen in fantasy?
This is because I watched the game. I could care less. I mean, Joe Burrow should have put up just as many, except for he literally handed the ball to the defensive guy.
Ben Benford made that play. It was wild. I was sitting there, and we were up at Kitty's watching the game, and my boy Ty, who officiated Frank and Marla's wedding, turns to me as the Bills are down 2 scores and goes, "Hey Jeff, remember week 1 against Baltimore? We made all that money." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Bet the Bills money line right now." I'm like, "Okay."
Safe bet.
Plus 400. They fucking storm back. And it was just, it was like this. It was immediate. It was wild the way that the quicksand happens. Burrow didn't look comfortable. I thought his balls were, obviously I understand it's in the snow, but his balls seemed really inflated. His
got some blue balls, does he?
That cannon seemed a little loose.
I watching those teardrops to T. Higgins and some of the other ones, it looked pretty good. It just looked like it all fell apart in the last 7 minutes.
It just looked like there was no zip, right? Everything was very soft and touchy. I don't know. It looked weird.
Maybe because there was 5-inch snowflakes falling in his eyeballs. Who knows?
Probably.
At the end of the day, Cincinnati, the dream is over. You are officially done. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns party.
And we, listen, this other game that we talked about that you gave me a hard time about.
I give you a hard time about something?
Yeah, you did. I said, listen, if the Steelers come out and beat the Ravens this week, they're going to be in the driver's seat for the division. And you said, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, you're right. And if it wasn't for the referees absolutely fixing it for them, they probably would have lost. Let's get into it. Steelers 27, Ravens 22. I don't understand what is a catch in the NFL anymore. I really don't. To me, if a running back literally has to touch the white line and that's it for a touchdown, but a receiver has to catch the ball, put 2 feet down, make a fucking 360 spin move through the legs, and then put both elbows down before hitting his knees to consider a touchdown is asinine. The guy catches the ball, both feet down, in a half-second move, and then the ball comes out and it's not a touchdown. Again, this is just moving the goalpost. This might as well be the referees and the head of the NFL officiating might as well determine who gets in the college football playoffs, because that's what it feels like. They just make shit up. That was a touchdown. But I will say this, the Ravens are absolute ass, and they don't deserve to be anywhere sniffing around the playoffs. They are absolute trash. And, for me, I feel sorry for Derrick Henry as well. Yes, I drafted him, and that's part of the reason why my fantasy team is not going to the playoffs. But I will say it over and over and over again, that offensive line's been absolutely trash. The holes have been very, very small. Once they realized after Lamar had the hamstring injury that he wasn't going to be a handcuff for them, he did run it a few times in this game, finally. And once he did that, guess what? Derrick Henry starts busting open for 12-yard runs. Shocking, right? Holy shit. Tyson, the uninformed fan sitting on the couch, knows how to call plays in the NFL. What the hell are they doing? On the day that you honor your Super Bowl team, you got Rex in the house. You got the murderer in the house. Who else? Everybody's in the house. This is what you come up with? Unbelievable, man. NFL for entertainment purposes only.
Chad, what's the stat? It's like whatever coach is catching more than 3 points in this, I think they're now 26-3 on this spread. It's crazy. If you see Harbaugh or Tomlin at more than 3 points in this matchup, you blindly bet whoever the underdog is.
Can I just say this comment right here? Bring that comment back up, please. Should have been, but come on. The Steelers have 2 or 3 minutes. You're telling me that you've seen this Steelers team in a 2 to 3 minute drill come down. And yes, the plus 6 maybe, but there's no shot you have confidence in Aaron Rodgers and this Pittsburgh team to come down the field and score in the last 2 minutes.
Rodgers was incredible yesterday.
You cannot say that to me with a straight face.
Are you kidding me? Rodgers was awesome yesterday.
I didn't say okay. At what point throughout this season have you seen Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers be like, oh, we got a 2 minute drill. We need a touchdown to win the game? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
I thought we talked about it's just I think the Steelers just have a better defense.
The Steelers are ass too, bro.
I agree. I don't think
that
they're
whole
good.
division is ass. Yes, Aaron Rodgers can still throw the ball. You're absolutely right. He is, but I don't trust him. I'd rather have Caleb Williams in the last 3 minutes than Aaron Rodgers with that team.
Brother,
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the whole Bears team, not just switching quarterbacks. Let me preface that back. I apologize.
What are you saying right now?
I'm saying I do not trust Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers to complete a 2 or 3 minute drill for a touchdown to win a game.
Your go-to there? Caleb is like
because he's leading the league
in areas.
He's leading the league in fourth quarter comebacks.
No shit, you would rather have Caleb Williams than Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, and what planet would that conversation ever happen?
Anybody
about
who
a
knows
Hall of Fame
football,
quarterback. Okay, you're just trying. You're just trying.
42 years old. What are we talking about?
Okay, he's 42-year-old, and look at this. His ball had zip.
Sure, it did.
Well, you're proving my whole point. If that touchdown is called, now it puts them into a scramble 2 to 3 minute drill to try to come down the field. I would
take Tyler Slow or Spencer Rattler over Aaron Rodgers in a 2 minute drill right now because they actually have legs and can run.
So you're proving my point. This is what I was trying to say. Okay, I did not trust the Steelers to come back and make a drive to win the game is what I'm referring to. If they did not rob the Baltimore Ravens of that touchdown.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Okay.
Didn't happen.
Well, let's anything else to discuss about this shitty ass division before we move on?
Because
we got some more very questionable calls. While we're talking about questionable calls, let's talk about delay of game on the defense. Broncos Raiders in a game that was 10 points. The spread was 8.5. There
Pretty
are
good.
4 seconds left. And the Raiders and Pete Carroll kicked the field goal to not only cover,
Hit the over.
but to also hit the over. Jeff,
As two people who
as
said that
somebody
they
that
loved
I had
the
them.
Raiders +8 in this game.
I had them plus 8.5.
Good win.
Okay.
Keep it moving.
So I was obviously very excited for this. But, I mean, should this even be allowed to happen? I mean, what are we doing here? The game, it has no impact on the game whatsoever. Should this even be allowed to happen?
Here's the thing: is that I understand both sides of this coin, right?
Well, give me the side of the coin that says, yeah, we should go ahead and kick the field goal and just lose the game by 7.
Because you kick the field goal, if you get a penalty, right, the game's not over. The game can't end on a penalty on the defense. So there's a chance that now you have to go kick off, right?
No. If you accept the penalty, the kick doesn't count. It's another untimed down.
No, I think what they'll give you the option. I'm pretty sure if you make the field goal, they give you the option.
Let's play home field. Let's play devil's
advocate.
Let's say they kick the field goal.
Correct.
Got
it goes
the penalty.
Through.
So now they have
and it was personal foul or whatever it was for.
Okay. So now you have to not only get the onside kick, you have to grab it in the middle of it and run it back all in one swift play. Correct.
What if you get another penalty on the kicking team and you recover? I guess that really doesn't matter anyway, though. But
okay,
you never know. You never know.
I'm just saying, bro. Like we all know it was like literally like a 0.00001% chance. If there was even that analytically wise, like, come on, man.
I thought it was a sleepy spot for Denver, and also like we've also been trying to fade Denver the entire year to no avail whatsoever. I thought Bo Nix was actually okay. 31 of 38. RJ Harvey ran well, 17 of 75. This game sucked, though.
Can we also talk about how Overman had like the game of the century against me this week?
No.
More points this team's ever scored the entire year. Unbelievable.
That's not really true.
It is true. He scored 164 points.
He put up like 180 a couple weeks ago.
No, he sure didn't, Jeff.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought that like there was a chance that they could get that through without using the entire 4 seconds, and there would still be time left on the clock.
That is horseshit from both of you, and you both know it. It was a 55-yard field goal. There's no shot that all 4 seconds do not come off the clock. I reject you.
Low and hard. It's like a bullet going through there.
I reject your premise. But again, I won, so obviously I'm on the good side.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if you were on the other side, if you had the under and or the Broncos -8.5? Woo!
I saw Portnoy crying, bro. Like crying.
Of course. And this is the guy that you want to decide the college playoffs.
Sure. I think he should be on the committee with a handful of other people.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, indeed, Jeff. Anyway.
Last game.
Texans Chiefs.
Yeah.
We both called this one as well. Love the Texans here, especially catching 3.5.
Yeah.
Into the week on a winning note. Even though the rest of my Black Sunday was terrible. The Chiefs dynasty is dead. I don't know. I'm not going to say dead. Actually, I take that back, Jeff. He did put up 189. You're absolutely right. Once again, the Texans are just absolutely humming right now, and that defense. It's a shame that they're going to be not in the playoffs in fantasy football in our league. It's a shame. It really is. That talent is not going to be rewarded. For reasons unknown, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, love the Texans. Chad had it in here earlier. I actually love their Super Bowl odds that he posted up here. I think it was plus 1,400. Yeah, I think they're absolutely humming at the right time. And that defense is legit, man. And like I said, the only it's the Texans, and then guess who? The Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are the number 2 defense behind the Texans, who give up 31 to the Tennessee Titans. But, no investigation needed there. Let's focus on this. If I'm a Chiefs fan, Jeff, I'm okay, man. Like, I mean, can you really be disappointed after, 8 years? 8 years, you went to the conference championship every single year. You went
Can
to 4 Super Bowls.
Also, like, I didn't think, like, watching this game, I didn't think this is like, it's just so clear that the Chiefs are just done. They just had terrible drops. They had terrible drops. They had bad penalties.
They've been drops all year.
They couldn't catch a fucking cold, and it was like 10 degrees out. And it was
Kelsey's shocked.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just go make some children. Go have fun. Taylor is bad luck for men.
Yeah.
Which Taylor? Zach Taylor or?
I think we're talking about Swifty, Jeffrey. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I don't really know her. I don't know her dating history like that, so I don't know.
Really, just listen to her catalog, Jeff, and I know that you have.
I don't listen to her catalog either.
That is I am calling the utmost bullshit. I have seen you sing along at the bar whenever a song comes on.
What's your favorite song off the new album?
I don't have a favorite song. I've never listened to it. I'm
Probably
sure that you
Opalite,
like the
right?
one about Travis's penis. I'm sure that that's the one that you like. I know that's Caleb's favorite one. But yeah.
Shout out to the Bears quarterback. Yeah, I mean Travis is done, man. You know, it's it.
Is he done or is he just washed?
I think it's just like
same?
I think it's just time. You know?
I mean, is he washed or is he checked out?
Do you know?
I mean, his podcast, their podcast is like number one.
Yeah, I think there comes a time
too
when like football for some of these guys is like it's no longer primary, it's second. And I think that's kind of where we are. Josh Allen talked about how Haley
and
Steinfeld
rightfully so
showed him that football is not one anymore. And that's fine. Like, we're human beings, man. This is a small part of your life, you know, and you dedicate, you're going to pay the price later in life because of playing this game that you absolutely love. And it's going to be very fruitful for some, but it just seems like it's time, you know, it's time.
Well, again, like you said, at the end of the day, who does he have? 3 Super Bowls?
Yeah. Go live your life. Go have some kids. Go be a father. Go
3 Super Bowl
some
rings.
Children.
You know, he has his very successful podcast with his brother that they're making like $50 million off of.
Dynamic dude. He's going to do great in media.
You're married to a billionaire, or you're going to be married to a billionaire.
Bro,
not a whole lot to worry about. Do you really want to go outside when it's -4 and get smashed all around, or try to catch laser beams that are going to break your fingers?
You probably consider the best tight end of all time, bro. You know, and I think that's crazy.
Might say something about that.
I don't know, man.
It's pretty close, I would think.
It's so close between the two of them.
Yeah. He passed Tony Gonzalez. I mean, I think that would be a big one, right? I mean, Gronk really didn't have anybody to pass in Patriots history, but obviously if you're following a legend like Gonzalez in Kansas City and you manage to overtake him, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big. What an NFL week, man.
Do you think Trav wants a going away tour, though?
Nah.
Or do you think he wants to just kind of settle back in? Or do you think Taylor's team would recommend for him to go on a going away tour one more year, announce that this is your last year playing football, Taylor goes to your games, blah, 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 blah. They blow all this up. It's a whole thing.
I think the Taylor thing's gone. I think the Taylor and the Sweet thing is over. That moment is past. But I'd be happy to ask Jason if you'd like, if he would think his brother would like to have.
I know you have an in, so I just
Yeah, I'll ask and see if Jason thinks that Travis, or we could probably just listen to their podcast. I'm probably sure at some point it's discussed.
What do you like tonight?
Who's playing? Football's dead to me already, bro.
We have the Los Angeles Chargers and the Philadelphia Eagles in LA. So nice.
And let me also give a shout out here to it's not what's Richard Lacey's? Is it Richard Lacey?
Ricky?
Yeah, but what's his brother's name?
Don't know.
Let's give a shout out to Ricky Lacey's brother, who happens to be one of 2 left in the Giant survivor pool.
Who they have?
And they picked the Broncos this week, and the only remaining player picked somebody in this game tonight, which is wild. Yeah. But I mean, looking back on it, it's not so wild, but it's wild. because I'll tell you, I was this close, honestly, to taking the Jags this week. But there's a little voice in the side of my head that has a widow's peak and a very nice hairdo talking about how they actually love the Colts in this position this week. I don't know where that voice came from, but yeah, so that person, so Survivor should be decided this week, honestly. There's no shot they took the Eagles, right? No shot.
Brother.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll tell you this, whomever this person rooted or picked, I will be strongly rooting against them. So if they pick the Eagles, why is my phone say my iPhone is unavailable? What is this?
I don't know.
So whoever they picked, I will be going against. To me, this just feels like the Eagles have to get back on track at some point. I think we all know that the Eagles are a very good football team. I think that the Chargers are suspect. I mean, we're talking about Herbert coming off of surgery on Monday and trying to play. We've talked about numerous times. Can this Chargers offensive line hold up? We've seen them be very skeptical at times. Is Jalen Carter playing today? That is another thing that I would like to know before rendering a pick.
41.5 seems
out.
really low.
Jalen Carter is out tonight.
Give me the over tonight. Over 41.5.
And I'll take the Chargers then. Plus whatever it ends up on. Yeah. Need Chargers to lose, so my Texans wild card. Yeah. Yeah. I like the Chargers and the points here. They could definitely win outright. But one of the things, can I also say this, Jeff, that we got to start petitioning people here in the state of Florida because the Hard Rock Sportsbook is absolute dog shit. I had to take the Bears plus 6.5, and other books had them at 7 and 7.5, and it never raised from 6.5.
You can buy it.
No, you cannot. I was getting ready to say, and now they will not let you buy half. Okay, Jeff, I'm looking at the fucking spread, bro. It goes from 6.5 to 7.5, or sometimes it goes from 6.5 to 8.5. Like, it doesn't just let you go by the half points anymore and buy what you want to buy. Sometimes it's full points, and it will go from like minus 110 to minus 145 for a full point. Ron DeSantis, great governor of Florida, and the rest of the state assembly, stop the ban. The Indians cannot have a monopoly any longer. It is absolutely ridiculous that I must be limited about who I can bet with and what I can bet based on the Seminole tribe that represents Florida State University. Their sports book is the same as the sports team. It is poverty. It's time to take the cuffs off and free us and let us gamble at will. Plus the DraftKings, everything else, they get, yes, certain games they do, Jeff. And also, it also matters as it gets closer to the time, they will take that away. I don't know if that's on what like where the money's coming in at, but yes, right now it's half points. In certain games they won't, because I know I looked at other ones. I think it was the Bears as well. I wanted the 7, and like I couldn't buy the 7. I had to like buy the 8. It was a 1.5 difference, and the juice was like 70. And it's like, what are we doing here, man? And plus, the reward systems on DraftKings is so much better. Like, give me a break.
Being up there and using DraftKings and then having to come back down here and use this shit, I'm like, bro, it's not even.
Like, at what world or the great free state of Florida that we claim to be, right? That's Governor DeSantis, the free state of Florida. Am I locked into one gambling app because of the Indians?
You do know who one of his largest donators?
The Indians.
Yeah, it's the Seminole.
But you know whose money that they donate back to him, Jeff? Ours. The people that go to gamble.
You're not wrong.
It's not like they're coming out of their reserves and being like, let's take some of this tobacco money and go donate it. No, absolutely not. They're like, let's take this stupid white boy that keeps putting double down on a hard 8 and let's give that money over there to him.
When's the last time you went over to the casino?
I try not to. but I do get free rooms. So
just try to slide over.
Nah. I
Thanks,
appreciate
Chad.
it.
Hey,
Chad,
Chad,
thank
good to have
so
you
much.
back, brother. Appreciate you, man. Good luck this week.
We'll be back on Friday. Who's the Thursday game?
Bucks, Falcons.
Ooh.
Also, I don't know if we'll be back Friday. My wife's work holiday party is Thursday, so it might be you and Jeremy on Friday.
Get your ass out of bed. You can make it by 12. And first of all, you don't need to be acting a fool at your wife's Christmas party.
Guess where it is?
Drink responsibly.
Guess where the party is?
Jacksonville.
No.
Miami.
It's here in Orlando. They're based in Orlando.
Oh, then you have no excuse. The JW.
No.
Boathouse.
Yep.
Yeah, drink responsibly, but you can show up by noon.
Yeah, I'll see you on Thursday, Buff. I'll be out at Boathouse for her thing. My kids are melting down.
Maybe I'll show up there too, Buff. Are you off on Thursday, Buff? Let's go over there. So you're gonna watch the game at Boathouse?
Yeah, I mean for a little while at least.
So how about this? How about there's no?
It's a plated dinner, so.
How about there's no extracurricular activities? How about we just don't close out kiddies at 3:00 in the morning? Yeah, exactly. So Chad, if he's not here, you know where his commitment stands. It's not to you or the fans. It's like load management in the NBA, right? Like I just need to take a day off. Right. Yeah, I just need to take
I don't need a day off, but don't mind them.
Well, Jeff, we'll see you at noon Friday Eastern.
Sounds good. I can't tell you what kind of shape I'll be in, but
I canceled.
And
my
hopefully,
God,
I swear to God, I hope the Bucks win on Thursday. If they don't win on Thursday, brother, shambles.
You know what's going to be crazy, Jeff? And I don't want to put this juju out there, but I'm going to put this juju out there. Is me and you are going to be sitting, drinking our weed seltzers or whatever the hell they're called, watching both of our teams not be in the playoffs. And if you would have said that 3 weeks ago, I think.
And then you can put my boy James Leake right next to us, the Colts fan.
Yeah. Shambles. Absolute shambles here in Florida. That's going to do it for us today on the Uninformed Fan. If you do have to be driving out this week, please stay for the love of God. Stay out of the left-hand lane. And just a reminder, Notre Dame, Jonah Conference, or shut the F up. Peace.
Be great.